There is no denying the world is in crisis, full of financial uncertainty. Fear is the pervading sentiment across the globe. When it comes to money, people are naturally becoming more cautious and sticking with what they know. In this series, we work with everyday Australians who all have big financial decisions to make that will affect their family's future. With the help of behavioural science, our experts present them with new ways of thinking about their finances.
I think for a very long time Australia's been sold on the great Australian dream, and then that dream just kind of got bigger as we watched the wealthy and thought, wow, we can all have it all, and we've been out there chasing all of that ever since.
In a world that is contending with a global pandemic and economic crisis, watch these Australians reveal their financial realities and how they've been impacted by COVID-19. We first met Kate and Tony in November 2019, successful property investors who were looking towards their own retirement and their family's future. But with the average Australian set to outlive their money by 11 years and a global pandemic changing the landscape entirely, will Kate and Tony's success with property be enough?
So my background is born in the UK, moved to Sydney as immigrants at the age of 10 and worked in advertising in a larger agency. Didn't enjoy some of the people at times, and currently work from home here in Sydney and living the dream.
So my background for work was in media strategy and worked for a big agency, and then jumped to sales, the forbidden ground, and doubled my wage, which I quite liked. And then I decided to go out on my own. So I work now in network marketing and love it. Work from home, have flexibility, and love what I do, yeah. We have 2 children together. Olivia is 11 and David is 16. And I have 2 stepchildren as well. So 26, Tasman, and Alexander's 31. What is our family strategy around money? How can we, Tony mentioned about educating the kids around money. We have done, since they were 3, they've had little accounts at the bank, and I've always let them know that money is choice, money is freedom. And I think that you've got to teach that to them long term as well. Like, don't waste your money. Don't waste it. Make it powerful, make it work for you. So being diagnosed with a life-threatening disease it's the ball breaker. It's the end of the road. You kind of go, well, I don't really have any choices here. I have got to go through treatment to survive. It's the second time, so being diagnosed with breast cancer was 2 years ago, but then 13 years ago I was diagnosed with a brain tumour. So having money in the bank, having the choice to decide whether I wanted to go private, whether I wanted to go public, I've done what I wanted to do, and it would have been so different if we had a huge mortgage.
As Kate said, money is choice. Choice as to how many treatments she has or how many specialists she sees, and we've come through that fine. Well, we're both quite different. We're both immigrants to Australia. We're both born in the UK. Kate grew up in South Africa, and I immigrated here when I was 10 with my parents, and money was tight. My relationship with money was always frugal, always make it work, don't waste it, make sure you save it, and you buy tangible things, and that's been with me through my life.
My parents are self-made millionaires. Like, they worked really hard. They were migrants, really young, into South Africa from the UK, and Dad and Mom have always been driven, but money has always been something that they've wanted independence. They've always been very, very independent, which is what they've taught me. But I think every relationship is a yin and yang, we complement one another. I don't like to cut corners with certain things. I think there's definitely, you've got to have value with stuff, but there's quality in paying the extra, and you've got to do that too. Whereas Tony likes to definitely look for a bargain, which comes from his family. I get that too.
My responsibility in the family is to make money work, is to make sure we can afford the things we want to, and take the holidays we want to, and live with as little financial pressure as possible. So that becomes my sort of driving force.
And if I'm not feeling good, I'd like to spend a bit of money because it does make me feel good. So I think there's a part of me that wants security, but there's a part of me that also, you've got to have a balance between that and having fun as well. You know, it's not just about having everything in the bank. It's about also enjoying the life and having the freedom to spend money when you need to.
I'm the one that just has to say enough's enough sometimes, and no, you can't have that, and she buys it anyway, and we get grumpy about it, and just do our best to accommodate her personality and my personality. So I'm tight, and Kate's very good, but I'd rather spend on tangible things than things that come and go.
Do we own our own home? Absolutely. And it was a bit of a journey, I've got to say. I think if you're going to do anything in your life, owning your own home is about relaxation completely. You've got freedom to do what you want to do.
So for me, property is always about the security. Bricks and mortar is the old adage, and I think at the age of 25, I bought a first small house and renovated and sold, then bought another and renovated and sold. And so for me, it was, I could see a tangible growth and a tangible profit at the end of the sale. And we renovated our last property extensively, put too much money into it, we're overcommitted. We sold that for the right money, and now we're mortgage free, which is a great position to be in. But for me, it's all about security and making it a real priority.
So the property that we had was was something that we put a lot of effort into. We renovated and we put our heart and soul into it. And I think that what happens is you step away and you've kind of done it. It's something that we wanted to do. When you get there and you look at the stress it put us under financially, Tony wasn't particularly happy with his job, and that's just bricks and mortar. Happiness is everything, and it was a huge mortgage, and it was uncomfortable, and you had no freedom around that. So I really wanted to change that up, and selling that home was a big step, but it gave us the opportunity to downsize, simplify, and have freedom around not having a mortgage. And he then had a choice to go, I'm not doing that job anymore.
So what do we think about an investment strategy? So I bought an investment unit, and that went well. That was manageable, and then bought a second, and that was manageable. Then we've recently bought 2 more up the coast. So superannuation is something that you get much later on. I don't feel like I'm anywhere close to retirement or a super age. That's probably the same for everybody. The properties that we've got are outside of the super fund, and the super fund is a self-managed super fund. I've always had that working for myself, and it doesn't produce anywhere near what it should be, and that's because I just don't understand investing via the super fund as I should.
It's clear Kate and Tony have worked incredibly hard to build their wealth through property. But, as Tony says, they've not explored other avenues. To help us understand why, our behavioural scientist explains the unconscious biases behind their actions.
They have a really clear-cut case of anchoring bias, which is that they actually revert themselves straight back into doing something that they've done previously. They had a case of a home that was more expensive than they wanted it to be, downsold that very quickly, went on to invest in 2 more units, and have continued to go back into a cycle and a pattern that actually takes them back with a blinker. It's like starting to get tunnel vision. You're discarding alternatives. You're not even open to actually consideration of what other possibilities are actually out there. And that in and of itself is actually perhaps a little bit damaging.
We do have a financial planner, and he works on our life insurance mainly. But I know the superannuation area has been something that Tony and I are looking at the moment as far as where we put it. Because there's some really good superannuation funds to invest in. Retirement,
for me, it feels like it's a long way off. I enjoy what I do. I work from home. I've got great clients. I don't have an age for retirement. A retirement income would have to be about $10,000 per month. You know, we still have in the hand. We still have children. We still have commitments. We still we love international travel. We have family around the world. There's a lifestyle that we want to keep up. So that would make it $120,000 a year that we'd need for, you know, 15 to 20 years.
You know, in my industry, you don't retire; it keeps going. And Tony's set up in a niche, so I don't think we'll retire completely. I think we'll keep our finger on the pulse and do a bit as well. I don't think we'll ever have an opportunity just to stop completely. I think it'll be nice just to continue at some level, you know.
But we're not on track. Like if we were more connected with the financial advisor and we had a more structured plan to say we're going to guarantee ourselves $10,000 in the hand per month minimum, you know, that's something that you'd need to work towards and budget and plan, which isn't our strong point. You know, we do our best with investing and accruing assets around us with the hope that one day that all works, you know, that it becomes as per our plan.
Want to help your clients learn how to change their thinking around money? Download our ebook, Living for Today Without Costing Tomorrow. Next time, our expert panel discusses our behavioural psychologist concerns about Kate and Tony being so anchored to property as a wealth strategy.
You have to be able to accept some short-term volatility to get that long-term gain.
When you're talking about long-term investing, what happened in the past is not always predictive of what's going to happen in the future.